heat shields. These are the exhaust heat shields. Been asked to make a set of these for the lads in Italy. So that's happening. Then I've got to make some of these. So you'll see the beginnings here. So that's going to be a bit of press tooling. Spot welder for this job. So here's the tooling. I've just marked out just a little grid really to hold it on. So across here, lining up with that, across there like that. That centralises us. And then we'll have a look on the press and see. Now obviously this can shift around quite easily. If I'm not careful, it'll move. And obviously, you know, more elaborate tooling with a way of keeping it all in line will be better. But for the purposes of this one, this will do. So I've only got to press out 6 of these. So you want to get this on there without moving anything, which is a little tricky, but you never know. Okay. Like that. There we are. Okay, see what we've got. There you go, that'll do, won't it? So that's a success, isn't it? So what we're going for is this, isn't it? You do it, isn't it? Got a Merlin on here. Our next bit is sort out this fold and this curl on the end, which I think might be a bit tricky. Let's go and have a look and see what we can do. Test piece, not too bad. Good for a first attempt. You might trim this down a bit more, back further. And I did this before putting the fold in, but what I might do is put the fold in, then straighten it out, then put it back in again. Not sure yet. So I'll start with this fold here. So we get that in there. That goes up to 90, doesn't it? But then if I pull it back down, it will allow us to do what we've got to do with the other bit, which is the other side. Which is here, you see. So we've got to curl that one around. So if we use these lines and bump it around a bit at a time, that should work. So you can see I've got to flatten that out to allow us to get that in there. But because we've got a set in there, we should be able to get it back in quite easily. So we've got to go all the way around with this, haven't we? But a little bit at a time because we're trying to make it round. So if we go on each line and just do a little bit, obviously we'll finish it off by hand. You need to be careful, so if you don't hit the lines it goes cone shape. What'll happen here is we'll have to avoid that because we're going to be bending further over, aren't we? Okay, so you can see we've got the beginnings of curl. We'll finish that by hand. Right, so we're going to work it around here, don't we? I've got to get that back up there. Pull that up because I think I'm going to have to work with that. Otherwise it's going to fold in. So I'll put that back in. So now we've got to get this round, haven't we? Right, I've got is this, another bit of this rod, I've tied it up. So we can get that in there. We're getting there, aren't we? So that's what we're going for. So we're going to get this round a bit more so it closes up there. So it emulates that one more. You can see we're getting there. So I thought if we tuck this in a bit, we're getting there. Not too bad. What we're trying to do is get that height down there a bit. We've got this a bit high here. So I'm going to try and get that down a bit by rolling that in more. But that's not, you know, it ain't going to be that easy to do. Now what I might have to do is put it in the vise and tuck that over a bit. But the trouble is the jaws of the vise leave marks on it. So what I really need is some better jaws. I need to modify one of them other vices that I've got there with some different jaws in it that don't leave marks in it. You know, just flat jaws, which I will do, but not today. Anyway, there you go, that's nice, that little T-piece. So I made that for this job. That's one I made for other jobs. That's an anti-roll bar off something, so it's quite nice spun steel. This isn't anything that special, so probably not the best, but it will do. Of course, it'll be doing lighter duty stuff on it. This is going to be the end where the gauze bit goes. So that's that. But to get to that, we start here. And then we've got to knock the edges around, you see, like this. do the edges, and then we'll have to file them down to size to get them neat. And then obviously we've got to get this cut out to do that. And then to do this bit, to knock these round, got some plates here to assist in that. So to make this work, we've got to do the thing. So that one gets bent down that way, which means this one gets bent that way, effectively. That's a better example of it. See, that bends up that way, and that one bends down. So that's up, that's down. So with that in mind, we're going to clamp it and put it in. Now I could have done it with a tweaker and knocked it round, but that's a lot more hassle. So what I've done is I've made these up. So that one's got to go on that side. Let's line up with that. It's not too much of a problem because I've got excess here that we can file down afterwards. We want to get it about right. So that's that. I'll put that one on this side. See? That sort of thing. Get that clamped in there like that. Nice and tight. And then we use some of these. Again, we want these nice and tight, you see? They've got flex in it. Put that one there. And then we'll put another one in here to clamp that. And that should hold this quite well. Now we want these angled down so they're away from the work, so that we're not, hitting the grips, as it were. Let's go with that. I might try and get this one down a bit further. Just get it under there if I'm careful. Like that. Then we want something with a bit of area to it because we want to knock this over. So we're trying to push this over, not put lots of dents in it. It will dent up a bit, but the idea is to not let it fold over on itself. So that one's quite good because it's got a bit of weight to it, but that one's probably a bit better because it's got a bigger surface area. So that's the plan. So the idea is to knock it round. So you see we're hitting the edge. We're hitting on the edge there, like that, on that edge. And we do it in little bits all the way around. Don't try and whack one bit over in one go. Just a little bit at a time. So you see we're going slowly over all of it. And obviously I'm altering the angle as I get over. And of course the noise is it hitting the, noise changes when it hits this bit, but we try not to do too much of that because we don't want to mess our hammer up. So it's going to pucker up a bit now because we're getting here, you see. So it's not bending it there, it's still bending it on this edge. So to try and get into there further, we've got to try and get to that edge a bit more. Why don't I take you off of there? This might jar around a bit. So let's get a look, see what it's sort of doing. Let's say the idea is not to pucker this up too much. So now I can move it and get this edge. I want to get rid of that bit there and some of that there. So that's fairly easy done. Just grab it with these and just finish neatening it up a bit. So I just want to neaten that up there. So that's it. Now this needs to be 8mm in depth there, so I can back mark that, and then we can cut it down and file it up. But what would have been perfect is if I'd done that with an 8mm piece there, then we could have left that in there and just ran the file over it, or ran the snips around it, or you know, a thing with the grinder straight across it. So you'd sort of take it straight down to that level, which would have been good. But you know, I didn't have any 8mm, and I didn't want to cut 8mm up. If I did have it, it takes a lot more cutting than that. But there you go, that's that bit. Now if we want to back mark it across here, we can set the dividers up and do that, can't we? So that'll be those. It should be set about right. Now those aren't set to 8mm, they'll be 9mm. If I want 8mm depth there, I've got to add a mil onto it for the metal thickness, you see, because that's a mil thick there. And I'm marking off of there. You see what I mean? Rather than marking off that edge. There. Got it focused. You can see the line? So that's what we've got to cut it back down to. Then file it up to get it just right. So I'm trying to sort the heights on these out. I'll put these on it to hold it. So look at these depth heights about right. You see through there? And go that flat through there. So I use this thing, which is a bit vicious. So you have to be a bit careful with it. Yeah. Looking good. Good for hearts. So now this one. See, it's a bit higher there. I didn't need much on this edge, need more on that side. I want to pierce the centres out. So we can use the little one in the corners here, can't we? To do those. Like that. And if we use the big one, we get up into the middle here. It's a bit tough, this one. I could do with setting up the bench mounted one. See what I mean? A bit tough, that one. It gets easier when you're sort of doing half bites. So we're just going around the edge here. Right, then we can use the nibbler, one of these, to cut the rest of that out. I'm not going to go this way in this one. So we get roughly there, then we'll have to file it out properly to get it finished, which will be awkward. The nicest thing with these would have been to have a low laser cut, but that would be on a different scale of production, if you see what I mean. It's not really appropriate for what I'm doing, just to show you. And you know, not everyone can go and get things laser cut, so I thought we'd just get it done like this, really. So yeah, you see, so we managed to start that. We've got to get through the others. So take this top bit out, we can use this, if we're careful, just to go into there. So we want to file the edges up, don't we? File these up. So if we put it in these, as long as we're gentle with it and don't file this away, we can file that away to match it, can't we, you see? So that can be done fairly easily, and hold it in here. So it's just a little trick, really. Then to get into the corners, we want a half round, don't we? So we get right in the corners there, but we need to be careful not to cut into the corners too much. So we're only taking the edge off a bit. Okay, that should do us on that. Now we can work these edges, but we're moving in the vise a bit. So what we can now do is work into these corners here, you see, like that. Just want to take these bits off here, don't we? Just that corner there, really. We can do something similar here by using this. It gives us an edge to work to, you see. We want to take this off, don't we, along there. And there you go, we've done these. So another bit done.